Hello, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to the webinar today, which is Sprout University, a look inside the unique world of sprout powders. I'm going to be presenting this webinar to you. I am Silas Stoddart, the Marketing Director for Sun Garden Fresh Living. If you have questions, go ahead. Feel free to shoot me an email when this is over. It's silas.stoddart@sproutnet.com. If you want to give me a call and talk to me, it's 931-526-1106, extension 126. I'll be glad to talk to every one of you. If you want, you can go ahead and visit our website as well at sproutnet.com. Again, my name is Silas. I'm the marketing director. Guys, this is a live webinar, so if we experience any technical difficulties, just bear with me. I'll get us up and rolling again as soon as possible. So just a quick look. I'd like to go over the agenda for today. First on the agenda, we're going to be talking about what are sprout powders. This is going to go into the what is a sprout, the safety measures that we take as a company to give you the highest quality sprout powders you can have, and everything that goes into making those powders. And then after that, we're going to look at some industry trends and benefits to using our sprout powders and how they fit into this unique world we're living in today. And then you're going to get to go behind the scenes and actually take a virtual tour of our facility and see everything that goes in on our side of making these sprout powders. And then to finish it up, we're going to have a question and answering session. So on your control panel, guys, there's a Q&A button. As we're going through the webinar, go ahead, type in your questions. If you have something that pops up, type it in there. When we get to the Q&A session, I'll do my best to answer every one of the questions I can. And if I can't get to it, feel free to reach out to me again. My email is silas.stoddart@sproutnet.com, and I'll give you the answer then. So guys, let's go ahead and let's get into this. Sun Garden Living Sprout Powders, the original superfood, presented by Sun Garden Fresh Living. So let's start off and let's look at some trends on the rise. In an increasingly health-conscious consumer market, these are fueling demand for sprout powders in the market due to their high nutritional profiles. Plant-based diets are increasing, and sprout powders are a quick, easy, and inexpensive way to add this powerful nutritional alternative to animal proteins to your diet. And then, according to the Organic Trade Association, 52% of organic consumers are now millennials. And of those 52%, 60% of them are eating more vegetables than any previous generation. So with those trends, let's look at how these trends are creating opportunities. So let's look at the baking industry. Baking companies are finding a lot of success by adding up to 30% sprouted vegetable content to their breads. This strategy is giving consumers a way to really enjoy these carbs they're looking for, but they're going to get good carbs and they're going to have all this added nutrition because of the sprouts. And then we're going to go to the beef burgers. The makers of beef burgers, they're using this same strategy. They're including these sprout powders into their patties and adding this boost of nutrition to their beef. And then, of course, the meat substitutes altogether. Plant protein is a great way for these meat substitutes to kind of add a little extra nutrition to their products. And then there's the snack bars and the sports drinks. Guys, they've been here for a while, and now they are rallying to the plant-based protein trend. They are offering clean, nutritional superfoods that are low in sugar, high in fiber, and even higher in protein. So what are we doing? We are providing the solutions that your customers are looking for. And this is allowing you to cultivate a successful business. So power powders, what are they? And well, first, let's look at what is a sprout. A sprout is the first tender stem of a plant. It's a raw superfood that is germinated from the seeds of various plants. It has a highly concentrated source of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, chlorophyll, and other healthy enhancing phytochemical compounds. They are all unique to each variety. Sprouts are the most nutritious vegetable available in the human diet. They have many benefits that come from harvesting the seed during this germination process. During this time, they synthesize new enzymes, and there is a natural transmutation release of the plant's peak nutritional benefits. And now once the seeds are sprouted, they are gently air dried at a low temperature to protect and preserve their nutrition and vital enzymes. Finally, they are milled into a fine powder. The result? A supremely nutrient-dense, enzymatically active, and bioavailable pure sprout powder. And this can be consumed in a variety of ways, all providing optimal shelf life. So you know a little bit about the powders now. So let's learn about our process and what makes us unique. We produce the highest quality sprout powders on the market. Our proprietary growing process was developed to ensure that the final product meets the most stringent specifications. Our certified seeds, they are grown to fresh sprouts hydroponically and harvested to maximize sulforaphane content, their enzymes, vitamins, and nutrients. They're very rich in these items. And after that, they are gently air dried at a low temperature. This protects and preserves their properties. Lastly, they are all carefully milled to a fine powder and packaged to meet your specifications. So our vertically integrated process is one of the great things that separates us from everybody else. We are controlling this process all the way through, from seed to sprout to storage to shipping. We do it all in one house, in one facility. So let's look at how we do that. First, we start with a seed. We are sourcing seed of the highest quality from around the globe, picked to meet the most stringent sprouting specifications. We bring it into our facility and we test it to be sure that that seed is free of pathogens, is not going to make anybody sick. And then we're sprouting the seed. We're sprouting it using equipment that we manufacture. We're the only ones that are actually manufacturing their own equipment that they're using in their facility. And then during the sprouting process, we are testing it for pathogens again to make sure that there's been no adulteration during that. And after it clears that testing, we're going to harvest it with the greatest of care, following our GMP manufacturing practices. And then it's gently air dried at a low temperature to maintain that peak nutritional profile. And it's milled with a very careful process to, again, maintain that nutritional level. And it's packaged to meet your specifications and tested one final time to make sure that there's been no adulteration through the entire process. And then it is either shipped to you or put in our climate controlled storage room and ready for you when you are ready for it. So why should you use sprout powders? Let me tell you why you should use sprout powders. They are an innovative and effective and simple way to boost your immune system, and they help you maintain good physical health and well-being. They have a high concentration of sulforaphane, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids, and they are set to become the go-to ingredient on the market. Sprout powders contain some of the highest levels of sulforaphane and plant-based protein you can find. And then there's the broccoli and kale sprouts. They can contain up to 12,000 parts per million of sulforaphane. This is a small molecule that the body craves for the protection of the cells from oxidative and inflammatory injuries. We'll get more into sulforaphane, in a little while. And then there is the alfalfa sprout powder. This is personally one of my favorites. It is so high in plant-based protein. It is 38% protein. And if you want something a little bit different than the alfalfa, say you want some sulforaphane also, go with our kale sprouts. They're still offering you a 37% protein, and they're going to offer you up an amazing dose of sulforaphane as well. And then all the others, you're getting protein from them too. Every other sprout comes in between a 20 and 30% range. They're all great sources of plant-based proteins. So let's look at some benefits here. So they're hypoallergenic with high bioavailability. They're easy to digest, they're easy to absorb nutrients and assimilate it into your body. They can boost your immunity. They're nutrient dense. They're a complete protein option filled with sulforaphane, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. They help you tone and build lean muscle. It's great for the sports and nutrition world. They're beneficial in weight loss. They're lower in calories, high in fiber, and other essential nutrients. They're also good for a clean diet. They're gluten-free and compatible with all diets, especially plant-based diets. And of course, we don't use any preservatives or antibiotics at all. This eliminates any risk to human health. And with a global shift to going away from meat production and reducing animal suffering, the sprout powders are a great way to get protein without having to eat a cow. And then they can transform any food or any formula into a superfood. This brings loads of nutrition to any recipe. And then, of course, you can use it as a natural colorant. Let's shift away from these artificial colors. Let's use a natural colorant and boost the nutrition while you're at it. So why are our powders the best? Well, they just are. I'm just kidding. So why are our powders the best? Because we grow our sprouts using the safest certified sprouting seed in a fully controlled indoor farming facility. We produce ours year round. They are free from droughts, floods, pests, pesticides, pathogens, and fossil fuels. We conserve the environment by reducing the carbon footprint and optimizing water conservation and space. We implement the most stringent quality control and safety procedures in the sprout industry. And of course, we perform systematic tests before, during, after product production, and of course, prior to dispatch. We use no fillers, no preservatives, no gums, no thickeners, simply pure sprout nutrition. And of course, we gently air dry our sprouts at a low temperature to protect and preserve their nutrition and vital enzymatic active ingredients. And we manufacture lightweight sprout powders to make it easier to handle and less costly to transport. And we only use premium packaging. This preserves the amazing nutritional profiles, guarantees a long shelf life, and of course, protects it during transportation. So what is inside? Just pure, clean, green, vegan, gluten-free sprout powders. No fillers, no additives, no sweeteners, no flavoring, no thickeners, non-GMO, no colorants, no pesticides, and no animal suffering. Just pure sprout powder nutrition. So let's take a moment and let's look at the health, wellness, and nutrition industries, because this really is going to be the future of intelligent food. So guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everyone's aware of it. And right now, what's happening? Families are staying home. They're cooking their own food. They're paying attention to the ingredients they're using. They're reading the back of the labels on boxes, and they're really understanding what their food is being made out of. We're in a nutraceutical and nutritional revolution, and it's not going anywhere. When this pandemic's over, people are going back to work. They're going to get out of the houses, but they're still going to keep eating good. They're still going to care what's in their food. So everyone's got to heed this call, and it's time to start moving forward in this revolution. So in an increasingly health-seeking society, our conscious quality sprout powders offer key solutions for brands to join this clean label market. From functional foods, such as vitamin-enriched products and add-ins, nutritional supplements, sports drinks, medically formulated foods, our sprout powders are a powerful tool and an opportunity to impact health. They deliver beneficial and unique bioactive compounds with the highest source of diverse micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. They have macronutrients, proteins. They're low in carbohydrates. They have a strong content of dietary fiber, and they're all natural compounds. And of course, there's sulforaphane. Our sprout powders meet the needs of the nutraceutical and nutrition industries worldwide. So let's look at the nutraceutical industry, for instance. Our conscious quality sprout powders can be successfully utilized as a base for existing or new product development, and they can be blended with other nutraceuticals for a very synergistic benefit. Nutritional products, they can be supplement powders, they can be capsules, or they can be tablet formats. Sports nutrition, you can use them in drinks, you can use them in supplements, or they could just simply be a specialty ingredient. And of course, custom-made ingredients. Let's look at medical formulations, functional foods. Let's turn that pizza dough into something that's not only delicious, but healthy for you also. So there's a blast of nutrient add-ins for the food, beverage, baking, pet nutrition, or any of these other industries. The possibilities are endless. You can add it to soups, stews, and sauces. You can bake it into cakes, pancakes, muffins, crepes. Just blend it into a smoothie. Use that natural colorant to get those really nice greens and purples and get the nutrition along with it. Simply just drink it in a cup of water. It's delicious. You can mix it into salad dressings or sprinkle it on yogurts, cereals, salads, veggies, pastas. Again, the possibilities are endless. So I've told you about the powders and kind of the benefits and the industries. So let's go ahead and let's take a moment to look at what we actually produce here. So we have two lines. We have a conventional line and an organic line. And most of the products, you're going to be able to get it on both sides. So I'm not going to get into the difference on those. But you know, you've heard about our alfalfa with its high protein. We've got adzuki and barley. We have two different levels of broccoli sprout powder. We have a low level of sulforaphane if you're just looking for the nutrition. If you're really looking for those therapeutic doses, we have a broccoli that can go all the way up to 12,000 parts per million sulforaphane. It's an amazing product. We have Broc Omega. It's going to give you that sulforaphane benefits. It's also going to provide you with a plant-based omega fatty acid profile. There's the garbanzos, the green peas, the kales, lentils, quinoa. It's great for the baking industry, and the radishes with a great spicy taste. There's a ton of products we offer, guys. And then, of course, if you don't see something on the list, give me a call. Let's look at it. Let's see if we can develop a product for your needs only. They all have optimal shelf life. You manufacturers, you're going to get about 3 years of shelf life. And then once it gets to the end users, they're going to get roughly 2 years of shelf life too. So let's take a look at the numbers. Who is Sun Garden? So Sun Garden is headquartered in Cookeville, Tennessee. We are the largest global producer of sprout powders. We have product in 60 countries worldwide, and we're saving the environment, guys. Last year, we saved roughly 46,000 liters of water compared to traditional agriculture. And then we have a high yield, up to 150 to 300 times higher than your traditional agriculture. With that high yield, we have zero waste. And we do it all in 7 days from seed to plate. So what are some principles that we apply? We're efficient, we save water, we optimize our space, we do it all in a climate-controlled environment with the highest food safety standards, virtually risk-free with a high yield, zero waste, non-GMO, no pesticides, and certified organic. And of course, we have a record number of food safety certifications. We meet all FDA guidelines for proper sanitation and food safety. We are regularly third-party inspected and receive a superior rating from the FDA, US Army, and the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. We operate according to good manufacturing practices, and in all of our food safety programs, we implement a hazard analysis and critical control point standard. We are SQF Level 2 certified, NSF certified. We are kosher, organic, and halal. So let's look a little deeper at our powders. Now, guys, I'm not going to go in here and give you every little detail about our powders. I've got about 10 different powders I'm going to go through. I'll hit the highlights. After this presentation's over, I'm going to make sure that each and every one of you get a copy of the presentation. And that way you can dive deeper into what are these powders. So let's go ahead and take a look. So our alfalfa, you've heard me talk about the alfalfa. So, you know, my most favorite point about that is its high protein content at 38%. It's also high in fiber, high in calcium and iron. It's a great product. The adzuki, it's a powerful antioxidant and it's really good for your gastrointestinal well-being. The barley has great detoxifying characteristics and it's good for cholesterol reduction. And of course, the broccoli. Guys, this is an amazing product. It is high in sulforaphane. And let me tell you, let me take a moment. If you do not know what sulforaphane is, go to our website, www.sproutnet.com. Check out the media section. There's going to be numerous testimonials that are outlining sulforaphane and its amazing benefits to your well-being. It's a great product. And then there's their garbanzo. It's good for digestive system balance and also inflammatory needs. The green pea, it's a powerful antioxidant and is really good for your healthy bone structure. And then the kale, again, powerful antioxidants and very rich in sulforaphane and protein, another wonderful product. And the green lentils, It's good for digestion support. There's a reason why people have been consuming green lentils in the sprouted form for generations. And the quinoa. This is a favorite in the baking industry because it's naturally gluten-free and has an amazing flavor to it. And then the radish. It's a powerful antioxidant, adds digestive system balance, and has a great spicy flavor. Guys, sprout powders are really the new approach to health. And here at Sun Garden, we have a mission that we live by. I want to read it to you right now. It is superfoods that nourish, passion that inspires, respect for the environment, outstanding values, uplift mindfulness, transform through nutrition, and safeguard with the best quality systems. All right, guys, thank you for seeing the presentation. Together, we are planting sprouts for a healthier future. Again, if you have questions, go ahead, type them into the question and answer section. I'll get to those in a minute. I'm going to jump right into, we're going to go take a behind the scenes look at Sun Garden right now. So we're going to start off in Sun Garden with our Sun Garden seed department. This is where it all starts. So we're sourcing seed from around the world and we're bringing it in. And the first step in our building is it's going to go into a holding area, in a quarantine area. This is where we're going to actually pull a sample out of every bag. We feel that it is important to sample the seed to be sure that it is free of pathogens and it's not going to make anybody sick. So we're going to do that. We're actually going to take a sample out of every bag, out of every lot that comes through our facility. We can have a lot that's 40,000 pounds of seed. We're going to sample it all to make sure that there is no pathogens in there. We're going to sample it by taking a seed trier and taking a cross section across the bag, giving us a 99% probability of finding any sort of pathogenic bacteria that might be present in that seed. So after it's been sampled, we're going to take it to our quality control department. And this is where we're actually going to take that sample and we're going to grow it out for 48 hours. At 48 hours, we're going to pull a water sample from that. Now that's going to give us the best opportunity to find any pathogenic bacteria. And we're going to take that water sample and we're going to test it. We're going to test it for Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli to make sure that it is free from any sort of harmful bacteria and it is safe for consumption. If at any point we get any positive results, we reject that seed and we remove it from the food chain altogether. And after it passes through that, we're going to take it to our Sun Garden seed purification facility. This is a great facility. What we're doing in here is we're going to go in, you're going to enter through our locker room, put your PPE on, and you're going to see this process unfold. We're actually taking the seed and we are applying a non-thermal, organic, plant-based liquid to the coating of the seed. And it's going to provide up to a 6-log reduction in pathogens. So what is a 6-log reduction in pathogens and why is that important to us? Well, current FDA standards require a 3-log reduction in pathogens. We're taking it so much further. We're going all the way to a 6-log reduction in pathogens to be sure that we are providing the world's safest sprouting seed. And after it's been treated or purified, we're going to bag it in our Sun Garden branded bags. That way, we know when you see that bag, you can be sure that this seed is purified and is the safest sprouting seed in the world. And then on to Centrex manufacturing. We manufacture not only all of our equipment, but a lot of the equipment around the world for the sprouting industry. And we've been doing so since 1979. You can see here, these are just a few of the components that go into building our world-class sprouting machines. And you'll see a fully functional sprouting machine when we go into Fresh Living here momentarily. And then there's Sun Garden Fresh. This is where the magic happens. This is my favorite department. So you'll enter in here through our locker rooms. All employees that go into Sun Garden Fresh come through these locker rooms and they're going to remove their outside shoes. They're going to put on the appropriate PPE and they're going to get scrubbed up and get ready for production. This ensures that we have a pathogen-free facility. They're going to put their rubber boots on and they're going to walk down this hallway. And once they get to the door on the left up here, on the other side, there's a chlorinated foot bath to be sure that there's any sort of pathogens on on their feet, it's going to be removed right then. And that's the foot bath that I was telling you about. Then we're going to go in. This is our storeroom. This is where all the day's production is going to be stored for seed and packaging. It's going to go from this room and it's going to go into our sprouting facility. So here you're seeing our fully assembled Rototechs that are in production. This is what you're seeing the components from before. These are amazing pieces of equipment that are designed to have the entire process from seed to sprout done without any sort of human intervention. They're a fully automated system that you put the seed in it and you set it and you forget it. You don't have to touch it. It's going to allow for no contamination during the process altogether. So we're going to leave this in here for about five to 7 days. And at 48 hours, we're going to pull another water sample out of these pieces of equipment and be sure that there's been no contamination along the process so far. And the Rototech's not the only piece of equipment we use. It's just one of our favorites. We also build a track system, which is more of your tray growing style. This gives us great flexibility and versatility when we're growing sprouts and powders. You can see the alfalfa growing on the track system. And then we're going to harvest it. We harvest it following all of our GMP practices with the best food safety principles in mind, being sure that there is no contamination. Then we wash it to get another log reduction and also to remove any holes to be sure that when we turn this to powder, you're just getting pure sprouts and no holes in there. And after it's been dried, we're going to turn it to a sprout powder. And here you see the dried sprouts, the delicate little stems and the leaves going through our milling process with the most care to be sure that we are providing you with the most optimal product you can receive. And in case you're wondering, those are broccoli sprouts that are going through the mill right now. Now, I want to show you the powder. I could not put the camera underneath the mill, but I did pull a sample that I'll show you in a minute so you can see what the finished powder looks like. It has a beautiful green coloration to it and a wonderful taste. And then you can see it's a very fine powder that's going to be good in any of your recipes or formulations. And then we're going to put it into either our sample cabinets, be ready to ship out for you guys to see, or we're going to put what we have in our inventory. Now you say this doesn't look like there's much. That's because we don't keep a lot in inventory. We want to make sure that when we produce it, we're producing it to order to give you the best shelf life possible for your products. And last but not least, guys, I want to introduce you to our amazing team at Sun Garden. These guys have been working tirelessly through this pandemic to make sure there's been no interruption in producing these amazing nutritional products for you. They are a great team. And when this is over with, I want to invite each and every one of you down here to meet them and shake their hands and tell them how wonderful of a job they've been doing, because they have been doing an amazing job. I cannot say enough how proud I am of this entire team and this wonderful organization and these amazing products. I cannot wait for you to try them. All right, guys. So with that said, we are now into the question and answer session of our webinar. Thank you for listening to me present this to you. Let me pull up here and see what kind of questions. I see we've got a few in here already. And all right. Okay, and someone asked if they're going to get a copy of the presentations. Yes, everyone's going to get a copy of the presentation when it is through. So someone asked about the baking process, if this is added into a baking product, if it's going to negatively affect the nutritional profiles. It should not. We've done numerous heat studies on it. It does maintain its nutrition through the baking process, and we'll be glad to share those studies with you. Just reach out to me after this, and I'll be glad to give you that information. And then another one, do the sprout powders dissolve in water? This is a natural product. It is not a juiced powder, so there might be a few particles in there, but there are ways. I've got formulas that I can share with you that'll actually help you in the dissolving process. They'll give you a more soluble product to work with. Another question here is, what is the lead time for production? Lead time can vary. It only takes us roughly 7 days from seed to finished product. But, looking at it, if we get your order in, depending on what's in the pipeline, we will usually be able to fulfill any order from 4 to 6 weeks, depending on if we have any in inventory. If we work together and you're looking at doing business over time, we're glad to go ahead and do forecasts and put anything in there. So be sure that we have it in stock and inventory when you're ready and you can pull it in at that time. So I'm getting a couple questions about what's the max temp on the dryer. I can't really get into the temperature on the dryer. Our drying is a proprietary drying technique, but I can tell you that all of our testing is done, all of our nutritional profiles, all of our sulforaphane testing, it's all done at the end of the process. So everything that you're going to see is very representative of the actual product profiles of the product itself. All right. So there's a question on serving size. So the serving is, I will state on the serving size, and we can get into more of a discussion on this later, but these are very, these are very concentrated products. So the small serving size is really based on what your body is allowed to handle. If you start throwing too much nutrients at it right away, it could cause a little distress. So we recommend a small serving size to start with and then grow with that over time. And there's the question about, is the process approved by FDA? Yes, our entire process is approved by the FDA. We are regularly inspected. We work closely with the FDA to be sure that we are following all protocols and are in compliance on everything that they're looking for. I've actually personally been to the FDA headquarters and presented them with a presentation about our products and our seed purification process. Can you do other sprout powders like cauliflower, arugula, cabbage, etc.? Yes, we can. Our R&D department works tirelessly to always find new products. We'll be glad to try to work something in. It just really falls into what, we have a full schedule, so we try to fit it as well as we can. The products themselves have roughly a 3-year shelf life for manufacturers, 2-year shelf life for the consumers. So as long as you're storing it in the original packaging in a cool, dark environment, you're going to get that long shelf life. The question now is hemp sprout powders. We have done some hemp sprout powders, and it's not something we currently keep in stock, but we'll look at doing that for you as well. All right, guys, I think I've got time for 1 or 2 more questions. If you guys have got anything out there, I'll be glad to answer them for you. Is all testing done in-house? We do quality control checks in-house, but all pathogen testing and everything that is going to be put on a COA is actually sent out to a third-party certified laboratory to make sure that there is no conflict of interest on the testing part side. I had a question on concentration of sprouts in each pill. So we're doing the sprout powders in a bulk form. I'll be glad to share with you after this all of the nutritional profiles, and we can have a discussion on that later. All right. Guys, I got one more question. Time for one more question. If you want to throw one out there, and I'll do my best to answer it. I've got a question on costing versus plant-based powders. So these are specialty ingredients, so they might be a little more costly than your traditional plant-based powders, but the nutritional profiles are a lot more concentrated, so you're going to have a nice, it's going to give you the nice benefits of that as well. So it's not really that much more significant than your traditional plant-based powders. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for our webinar on Sprout University, a unique look into the unique world of Sprout powders. I really appreciate each and every one of you spending some time with me today. Again, if you want to follow up with an email with some additional questions, if I didn't get to answer your question, it's silas.stoddart@sproutnet.com. I'll be glad to send out. I'm going to send out a copy of the presentation to everybody that was with us today. And if you want, if you send me your home address, and I'll be sure to send each and every one of you a free sample of the Sprout powders. So go ahead, shoot those over to me. My email address is attached. You should have all that information. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you want to just give me a call and talk to me on the phone, I'm here as well. So you guys have a wonderful weekend and have a happy holidays. It was wonderful spending time with you guys today.